a picture of my beloved Alan MerriLL performing in London.
Yes.
Take that.
Oh, thanks.
Take
that's
that.
much better.
I know. Exactly.
We could share my.
Yes, we'll try to get this one.
Okay.
There you go. So, the last time I saw you was the night before you were leaving, or right?
And it was a great trip.
Oh,
I did
I'm so glad.
Portsmouth, Southampton, London, and Green Somerset in England, and then I did a whole bunch of interviews, including the Alex Dyke show on BBC.
The BBC.
The BBC.
You can curse on the BBC, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
I know.
In fact, I was surprised because he started it. And I went, okay, the floodgates are open. Here we go.
You can always curse on the BBC.
I think so,
Because
yeah.
I remember when I lived there a long, long time ago, Bette Midler was on TV, and it was like some show like Johnny Carson in England. I don't remember the guy. And she's like, I'm so happy to be here. Fuck, 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 fuck. I know.
But that's French for seal.
There you go. Exactly.
She was speaking French.
Oui.
That's why they say pardon my French.
Exactly.
Because they say fuck.
For seal. That's funny. So, how is it being back?
It's great. Actually, just last Saturday, I did a wonderful show with conducting and arrangements by Affoumado, who's right here in the room today. And we had a wonderful experience at the old St. Patrick's Cathedral on Mulberry Street.
I used to live on that street.
And singing in a church is amazing. It's just the reverb is just terrific. And the Left Bank were also performing, so we did a couple of songs. And we did.
You know, I had.
This is the flyer for the show.
Do you know on this day, I wrote this for you. Michael Brown meets Renee Fladen and then writes Walk Away Renee on December 14th, 1964. And this is the day they met.
And then Tom Finn got her.
Yeah, exactly. But,
and that's why Mike wrote the song.
Yeah, but it happened on this day, December 14th.
That's got to be in 1964.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, that's a long time ago.
That happened on this day. I know. I thought that was a tidbit for you.
I started my first band in '64.
And you sing "Walk Away, Renee." I know
that. Yeah, I do a version, and the Left Bank did their version the other day, actually with a new singer named Mike Fornatel. And he sounds very much like
Pete Fornatel.
He's a brother, I believe, or cousin. Yeah.
Some relation.
Anyway, they're related.
I remember that name. It's one that stands out.
And the new Left Banker are tremendous. They sound great, and
it's like they're having a huge comeback or something. Maybe they never left, but I mean, I keep hearing the Left Bank. The Left Bank.
Here's what happened. George Cameron really wanted to play again, and I think that was the start of it. That was the spark, and then we've worked together a little bit since George got this idea to do it, and the Left Bank actually had a reunion. Which was
Joe's Pub.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah.
And I went there with Tommy Thayer, who wrote Desiree, a hit for the Left Bank, and actually has written with Ralph Affoumado.
Do you want to come up here?
Please come up and say hello.
Us. Yeah. Hells yeah. We like that.
Happy to be with you guys.
And this is Ralph.
This is
Hi,
Lorraine.
Hi, everybody.
Of the day. Yeah, Ralph. So you're a very talented living legend.
Well, not really, but I met the Left Bank around that time. No, '69. I did a bunch of commercials with them, and I'm about to produce them.
Wow, lucky them.
Yeah, well, no, lucky me. They're a wonderful group. But Alan's the guy. Alan sang with the choir at NYU, and it was a spectacular thing.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Kids love him.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's true.
Welcome.
He's a lovable guy.
He sure is.
I know. He even was Santa Claus a couple times.
I was actually Lady Gaga's Santa
Claus,
as I've said on the show.
She always comes up.
Never told me that.
I was drafted by the nuns at the Convent of Sacred Heart on 91st Street, Manhattan.
And how do you say no to a nun, right?
And my daughter was in the school, and the nun said, "You're the only dad in show business. You really have to be Santa." I was like, "No, I don't want to do this." So I put the pillow on, and I did it. And Caroline Giuliani and all the other kids.
Wasn't there a Hilton or two?
Yes, there's Nikki Hilton was in the school too. As a matter of fact, I forgot about that. And So it was.
What did these people ask for Christmas?
They asked for
anything?
ponies and stuff, and I said that'd be very hard to fit down the chimney. I'll have to have a word with your dad before. You see if it can fit down. If it can't fit down the chimney, don't be too disappointed. Is the way I handled it.
Wow.
Some of them probably did get ponies.
I'm sure they did. So where are you from?
I'm from New York.
Yeah?
I'm a New Yorker. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I think
I've been involved in music pretty much all my life, and Juilliard guy, classical mainly, turned rock. Produced a lot of people in the '60s at Associated Recording, and so forth and so forth. That's where I met the band, and haven't met Alan until recently. Really.
Well, that's good. See, that's a good thing about life. You never know who's going to cross your
You
path.
never know. You got to keep yourself out there.
And you never know who's going to come back.
Right.
I
That's,
know.
Could be problematic.
It can be, but it can be a gift as well. What do you think?
You know, well, I think, you can only stay off stage for so long. I think that if you're, meant to be a performer, then you'll always be a performer, and, you can't stay away from it. It doesn't matter about the money, I think. It's just, you just want to, make people happy and do what you want to do, and that's what makes a great performer, somebody who really just cares about performing and, putting their message out there and showing their image and, image thing, and showing their new hairdo and,
What do you think about image, Alan? I'm curious
Oh,
to
it's
know.
very, very vital to the rock and roll.
Has anyone ever told you to change your image?
Absolutely.
And what do you say? What do you say?
I was told what to wear.
Yeah, what do you do?
In Japan at the start of my career.
And what happened?
Well,
Did you listen?
by Mickey Most, my producer in England. It's either listen or don't get a record out.
Right.
It's that strict.
Right.
It's like you conform to the image that you're told to, or you will be blacklisted and not have any records out. So, I acquiesced for a bit and wore some silly clothes, but some of them I chose myself.
Exactly. So you went with their suggestions and you took bit the bullet or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was
a lot
worth
of bullets.
it. And it was
One
worth it.
machine gun belt worth.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
But that's how you get, sometimes I always figured, as long as it gets me to the level where I have enough profile to change course, and I think I've managed to do that.
Exactly.
I went from the Arrows on Rack and EMI Records, which is very commercial pop, straight to Island Records with Runner, which was really, really serious. I mean, one minute you're hanging out with Mud and Susie Quattro, who's great, but the next you're hanging around with Steve Winwood and Mick Taylor and people like that. At Island Records is a whole different world.
Right.
Yeah. There's the pop world, which is not taken very seriously in England, and there's the rock world that's taken very seriously in England because it can go global and make a lot of money for the British.
Yeah. And then they go on Saturday Night Live.
There you go.
I know. It's true, though.
And rip up pictures of the Pope.
Exactly.
My stepfather was a conductor that night. My late stepfather, Tori Zito.
Oh, on SNL?
He had no idea it was going to happen.
Nobody
And he's
did.
an Italian Catholic, and his whole family were mortified.
Oh, no. Oh, Sacred Heart. That's right. Do you think it was such a bad thing?
I don't think anything is such a bad thing. But
I know. I'm
super
like that,
liberal,
too.
so
I know. Do you think that was such a bad thing?
Makes me yawn.
I think somebody did something recently that they compared to that, and I can't even
Well,
remember.
it's like that Salman Rushdie thing, where they put out a fatwa on him because he.
Like the Dixie Chicks? They tried to make that.
And they burned Beatles records because John Lennon said they're bigger than Christ. Well, they probably were more popular at the time. Than
I just heard something about Jesus the other day.
What about it?
Were you with me?
I
I just heard something that everybody wants to be Jesus, but nobody would want his job.
I'd like to be related to Jesus. I would want to be him.
I didn't make
I just
it
want
up.
to turn water to
It's
wine.
wine. That's all I
Day.
want. Just turn water to wine.
Yeah.
So-
Or champagne.
Or champagne.
Or make music.
That too.
There you
Turn
go.
water into funk.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind walking on water. Then I could walk to England.
There was a good song
That
by The
too.
Move called
Yeah.
Let's Go for a Walk on the Water.
That would be a fun thing to do. So, do you have gigs coming up? What's
Yes,
going on?
in
Show us.
fact,
I see all those papers over
Just
there.
got New Year's Eve.
Oh,
At Hill Country, which is hillcountry.com.
on 24th Street or
Yes,
26th Street?
26th Street.
Yeah.
And
I like that place.
New Year's Eve, I'm going to be playing there with a barrage of all-star musicians.
Well, as always.
You know, we got Kenny Ashby on drums, and he's great. He played with Herbie Hancock and a bunch of other people, and we got Tommy Mandel on keyboards, Kirk Yano on guitar, and a host of other friends.
Right.
And that's going to be the 21st of December and the 31st. So I'm
wow.
10 days apart of Hill Country.
So both Eves.
Yes.
Eve and Eve.
And my new album is done. I'm in the artwork phase. It's called Snakes and Ladders. It's going to be out, hopefully, if the artwork is done this week. And I'm hoping.
How many songs are on it?
20.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is that isn't it? Are you doing a CD anymore? Like, is it all digital?
Well, it's all. I'm having collections. This is volume 3 of my collections, which is going to be put out in tandem as a box set, if there are still CDs.
I know. I don't know where it's going. Like, are there record stores to buy them? I mean,
no.
You go to Best Buy to get a CD. I mean, it's like, what's going on here? What do you think about that, Mr. Producer?
You download it.
It's all download. So is it even worth an artist making CDs anymore?
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I'm trying to find that out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that out. You know, we used to be able to purchase music, sheet music for my choir or whatever.
Right.
From Shermer's, from Carl Fisher's, from Paddleson's.
They're gone.
Everything's online. So
And
try to get choral music online. You go out of your mind trying to do it. So I wind up arranging it myself.
And the word rewind doesn't exist anymore.
No.
I miss that word.
Yeah.
To rewind like a tape or a cassette.
Oh, because I like it because it's REW.
It's so
I
sad.
know, every time I saw it.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
But you know, people use what?
No, just the artwork and the just you know, everything about the.
On an LP, there was some.
Yeah, people were holding on to those.
There was a lot to read. You could open up like a gatefold and read about the album and how it was made.
Right.
Now you've got this much space.
And the CD became that.
The next wave is going to be downloads and a website accompanying the download to give you information about.
You think?
I'm ahead of the game there. Yeah.
Well, you're always ahead of the game.
I try to be.
Yeah,
I try to figure out the trends and jump ahead. Yeah.
I think you do. So, what are the papers that we're going to show?
Well, no, that was just really the gig at the cathedral that we did. And,
I love Mulberry Street, except it's so not what it was like everywhere else. I feel like one of the old ladies walking down the street going like, "Oh my God, I can't believe how chic it is."
It's become a basilica, you know.
It's insanity.
The Pope last year proclaimed it a basilica, and now they're going through a $29 million renovation.
Of Little Italy? It's to keep up with the neighborhood.
Well, not of Little Italy, of that church.
Oh, the church alone.
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. But they give my choir from NYU the greatest attention. We have 7 hours a week rehearsal there, and so forth. So
do they still have the little bread line where everybody lines up and they give out the cheese? I used to live on that street, so like one day a month they'd line up for like those cheese blobs, and it was like I don't know where these people were coming from, but they came from every borough, I'm sure, you know. And John Gotti used to be working around those streets, you know. Now it's chic boutique, fancy this, fancy that.
Starbucks.
Everything. It's amazing. But that church has stayed there.
Well, it was great singing, and the choir that you conducted are just tremendous.
How many people are in the choir?
They're about 60, but I gotta say one thing. The upside of all of this hard stuff that's happening in the industry and in the world, indeed, in my opinion, is the fact that if you work at a place like Tisch or Juilliard or any of these places, you see the up-and-coming kids, the rock kids, the pop kids, the Broadway kids.
Like, you know,
they are
rise
phenomenal.
to the top.
They're wonderful.
Right.
And that's encouraging.
Yeah. So
they sang Automatic Pilot and I Love Rock and Roll with me. And Walk Away Renee and Desiree with the Left Bank. Which we all sang Silent Night together,
that's right.
which was terrific.
Wow.
It's all on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
where
you just have to look it
I'm
up.
gonna check it. I'm still working because with three camera, and so I'm working on mixing that.
Right.
But as soon as it's done, it'll go right on the tube.
There's only very rough stuff.
And what's the YouTube channel that it would be on?
Foo Tracks. That's my group.
Okay.
And Af1. That's another one for me. Website. So.
All right, I'm gonna write those in because I'm gonna subscribe to you now.
Please.
And you can subscribe back to rew-who because it's all about those damn subscriptions right now in this day and age of everything numbers game, right?
That's right.
Image and numbers.
Yeah.
What else is there?
No,
Talent?
No.
Nah.
We just said the good ones right to the top.
Auto-tune now.
I
Beat
know.
detective for drummers.
Well, I'm so grateful. grateful you're here. Any last shout outs? Do you want to share a skeleton from your closet, my
One
friend?
quickie.
Oh, yay!
In the 60s, when I was a classic freak and knew very little about pop music, although I always loved pop music, but the Beatles came out, and I went, ew. And then I saw their Washington, D.C. video, and I felt like such a jerk because they were marvelous. And they are, they were just the very best. Ringo floored me altogether in that video. His drumming was outrageous.
I always loved Ringo.
Yeah, so that's my skull.
Oh,
Cool.
excellent. So it's National Bouillabaisse and Monkey Day. Please have a fish and a monkey.
Something fishy on the
I
planet of the
know.
apes.
Do you have any new skeletons in your closet, my friend?
No, I homework, as I told you.
I
can remember being in boarding school in Switzerland. It was British boarding school in the mountains in Switzerland, and I was just about 11 years old, and I was making a boat with a kid who was Edward R. Murrow's son. His name was Casey, and he's not involved in this at all. This was my roommates. I had 5 other people who lived in my room, and I managed to take a drill back from the shop where we were making these balsa wood boats to my room because there was a very attractive young matron next to us in a room, and I thought I could drill a hole through the wall and have a look at a real woman without any clothes on. But unfortunately, I had drilled a hole into the wall behind her cupboard, so I don't know. She never puts her lights on, does she?
Oh, that is hilarious.
So they caught me, and I was disciplined with a rug beater by Mr. Peter Lind, who I actually put a magazine down the seat of my pants, and he busted me on that, took that out, and I got a big beating. I was lucky I wasn't expelled, actually, but this was
unlucky.
My bubbling sexuality was starting. And rampant sexuality. Speaking of which, I'm back in touch with my old girlfriend, Mackenzie Phillips.
All right.
On a daily basis.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
We had a very hot relationship.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
Like we said, you never know who's coming back into your life.
That's for sure.
That is for sure.
Yes.
So, Alan MerriLL, you are great as well.
Thank you, darling.
And so you're playing all the eves, Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
At that hillbilly.
It is
like a hillbilly
Hill
bar.
country.
It's a country.
It's a ribs joint.
It's
actually.
a cool place. I love that room.
Anyway, we'll see. I've never played there before. Lincoln, who runs the place, is a fabulous guy. I met him, and we'll see.
Awesome.
I always try to have fun.
I will see you again soon.
Thank you, darling.
Happy to you.
Mwah.
Mwah. Always.
And Ralph Affoumado.
Ralph,
Thank you so much.
Yes, did you take your fish and monkey?
I did.
And no, Alan. All right, we'll be back. We got lots more going on. Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay, ay.
I know.
Rock and roll.